This is the godfather of tech reviews, Recode's co-founder, Walt Mossberg. Walt, it's great to have you back. Good morning.
Good morning, Carl.
We miss hearing your take immediately following and even during the event, but give us a sense of what you thought they came up with this year.
Well, you know, I think it's still iterative. They didn't have a giant, new thing that nobody has thought of or heard of to announce, but I think they did a good job. They did what they had to do. They caught up, and for all I know, once the reviews are out, we'll find maybe they went ahead a little on the camera stuff, which they had fallen behind Google on a little bit. They certainly came on strong on that and spent a lot of time on that. The phones, while still really physically derivative of the iPhone 10 from 2017, look good and have much longer battery life if the claims prove out to be true. So that's a good thing. And then you saw this weaving of services into the hardware, which has been a theme you've been reporting on and all of us have been reporting on for a long time. But you saw it in real life. They came out with their two services at a much lower price point than I think people thought they would.
Yeah, I wonder why. What do you think is behind this pricing strategy? Does it reflect the fact that they're new to this game, or that there's already some well-established players? What?
I think it reflects the fact they have enough money to do this. I think it reflects the fact that they don't have a big back catalog, at least, on the TV one. They seem to have some, what look from the trailers like impressive shows, but there's only 9 of them. And they can't really charge, this kind of a ceiling has been set by Disney at $6.99, which does have a big catalog. So $4.99 makes sense. And the other thing you got to remember, and I know you've all talked about this in the past, is that for Apple, unlike a content company, pure content company, these really are ways to sell more devices and keep people into their ecosystem. So even if they lost money on the $4.99 on the arcade game service and on the TV Plus, even if they lost money, if it helped them upsell their existing customers, get more customers, that would be key.
Walt, as somebody who has, certainly dug in and done lots of reviews and really, looked at tech over the years, as a consumer, if you were a consumer of iPhone, would you be incentivized to go out and buy another one based on everything you saw this week, especially versus other competition and also the expectations that iPhone is going to be 5G enabled next year?
Morgan, it's a great question. First of all, I am a consumer of Apple products, and I have been thinking about this in the last day or so. I think I'm going to wait and see what my friends, and most of them are my friends, who are the reviewers of these products, say about particularly the cameras and the battery life. If the cameras are really sensational, not just for pros, there's a lot of things in there for serious pros, and I'm not just thinking the name pro on the thing, but for average people, if the cameras are markedly better and the battery life claims hold up, I might consider an upgrade. But my current inclination is to think, well, they're likely to have 5G next year. Maybe I should hold on to my iPhone 10 one more year until the 5G. But I'm going to wait for the reviews.
Walt, if you hadn't retired, if you were still writing reviews, how would you go about reviewing these TV services, kind of comparing them to one another and helping people to understand which one or which ones make most sense for them?
Well, here's how I do it. I mean, and I have to confess that I got this phrase from a pretty senior person at Apple I talked to yesterday. Apple is trying to do what they think of it as being early HBO. So not many shows, not much quantity, but high quality. That's what they're trying to do, and they're spending a fortune on each of these shows, reportedly. And you can see the Spielbergs and the Reese Witherspoons and all the famous people they have going on there. That's Apple. Disney is aggregating a bunch of very well-known franchises, whether they're Disney's own franchise or Star Wars or Marvel, National Geographic, into a service, and that's their thing. Netflix is like, sit down and watch everything, back catalog, some good originals, and Amazon is somewhat more similar to Netflix in that. And that's kind of the way I would try to explain the differences.
Hey, finally, Walt, everyone's trying to give them advice on whether or not they should emphasize phones or wearables, accessories. Which of the two, the phone itself or the surrounding products, are the most interesting to you right now?
Well, I think the phone is always the most interesting just because it does so much more, but I'm a huge fan of the Apple Watch and of the AirPods. I have several pairs of AirPods, which is a little crazy, but I do. And I have an Apple Watch 4, and I'm thinking very seriously of upgrading the Apple Watch because now it isn't just blank, and I don't have to think about how to contort my wrist to see the time.